Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how to do this first learning activity. Normally, when you're going to be getting things, it's going to show up in your shared with me. So when I put in the course doc or in D2L that something has been shared with you, you go to your Halton Cloud account, you open it up, you go to the drive as opposed to your mail, which by the way, there's your mail that you're going to be using. Here's your drive. Remember, if you click more, you get the classroom, which we won't use a lot, but we will use every once in a while. You have a YouTube channel here, you have all kinds of things. In any event, you'll go to your drive and then go to your shared with me, and it'll show up in your shared with me someplace. Okay, so once you're in the document, normally you will just type in that doc. Don't make another doc, don't do anything, just type in that document. If it's something that I've shared with you, that means I've made a copy for each of you. I own it, you just type in it and use it. Remembering that I can see everything that you do in that doc. Okay, so just always remember that. So this is what you're going to be doing. There's a TED Talk there for you to watch that has to do with misinterpretation of data, which hopefully in conjunction with the doc that you've already got and the video about finding good sources, you can see how easy it is for information to be manipulated and then become inaccurate. And then there are a couple of government sites here that you're going to explore that explain some things about how Canadians feel about crime and how specific groups of Canadians feel about crime. And then in part 4, so usually at the end of these activities, there's some sort of reflection or synthesis where you're going to sort of start putting it all together. So if you go back to what you thought about crime rates in Canada, you and the couple of people that you asked, and if you revisit your response in the Google Classroom, I want you to now compare that with some of the groups of people that feel differently or have inaccurate perceptions about the crime rate in Canada and see if it sort of matches up your own responses, the people that you know. And then I have placed the link to this Google Sheet. I think I'll put it, maybe I'll put it in that assignment doc. So I will put that in here. And it's now shared so that anyone with the link can view. So I'm assuming, and you'll have to email me and let me know if this doesn't work. It's a bit of an experiment, but I'm assuming that you, now that you have the link, you can only view it, so you can't edit this thing, but if you wanted to do anything with these numbers, you could always make a copy, I suppose. If you go to form, you can see a summary of responses. So we can see what people thought in general, and then we can see their ages, and we can see what gender they were. And then if you go, and if you have a look here, you can start seeing some patterns. So if you start to notice, so if in reality, Canada's crime rate had been staying steady, and if in some of what you read, let's say it said that younger people, teenagers, tend to believe that crime is increasing because they're often victims of crime. I don't remember if that's correct or not, but if it was, if then what you noticed in these columns is that most of the people in that age group, in fact, did say that they think that crime is increasing, then they are misinformed, but it kind of makes sense. And statisticians would not be surprised at their misconception. So that's kind of what I want you to do, is to look at this data and then see whether some of those patterns hold. Okay. For this activity, and sometimes you will be doing this. For this activity, I want you to go to File, make a copy, and then you're going to make a copy of this document. It will put it, unless you change here, so if you've created a folder for this course, you can then go and tell it to put this document in a different folder. And then I would like you to, once you've made your copy, I think I need you to share the copy with me. We are not going to do that very often. Most of the time, if I'm asking you to go file, make a copy, it's not something I'm going to look at. But my spreadsheet to track all of your marks and everything isn't ready yet. So we need to do it sort of the old-fashioned way. Hopefully just this once. Okay, so file, make a copy, and then once you've got your copy and you're in the copy of this, so now you have your own personal copy, then go to share. And if you're in your Halton Cloud account, you should just be able to type Burke and my name should pop up for you. Okay. There used to be, I think, a Jenny Burke or another J Burke in the board, but I've always been Burke J. So if someone else comes up, I think it was a student, but they may or may not still be in the board. Anyway, just be careful of that. Always make sure you know who you're sharing things with. Okay, so that's what this learning activity is all about.